Wait a minute, is that Shaquille O'Neal's face on a Cheetos bag? Nice! Welcome to Beyond the Screen. I'm Nate, and these are the top 10 worst celebrity brand deals of all time. Number 10, Timothée Chalamet and Chanel. Perfume commercials have some of the dumbest advertisements, but somehow end up making millions. I could do an entire top 30 list of cheesy and bad commercials, but let's keep things trendy and talk about Timothée Chalamet's recent Bleu de Chanel commercial. As with all perfume ads, you either say too much or nothing at all. In this case, it was nothing at all. Timothée was paid handsomely to walk on camera in slow motion and stare into the lens while the song Nights in White Satin by the Moody Blues begins to play. The commercial lasts about 30 seconds before it abruptly cuts to a bottle of the product and Timothée says Bleu de Chanel. But for some reason he really puts an accent on it, more like Bleu de Chanel. The caption beneath the ad reads, "A fragrance for the man who is deeply himself." What does that mean? What if said man was an axe-wielding maniac? What does that smell like? Potpourri? That's the other thing about all these ads. They never actually explain what anything smells like. They just leave it up to our imagination. A fragrance for the man who is deeply himself sounds like Axe body spray. I don't know, maybe I'm just a broke boy who can't appreciate good TV, or maybe we're all on the same page. Let's find out in those comments. Number 9, Kim Kardashian and SKIMS. Now, Kim Kardashian is no stranger to a brand collaboration. She's been the face of many products over the years in various markets. But in 2022, she decided to create her own line of undergarments and star in a commercial showcasing what she had made. While showing off the clothes' ability to stretch and form fit at the same time, her finger suddenly distorts, becoming long and witch-like for a brief moment. When the ad was released, Kim did not receive the feedback that she was expecting. Instead of people focusing on the fact that she created underwear that molded to them, they pointed out the obvious edit on her hand and called her out for distorting her own image to appear more slender. The major backlash came from that, everyone pointing out the fact that Kim was trying to push an unrealistic body image on her fans, and the ad was pulled down after about 5 days. According to the company, the mistake was actually a glitch and not an editing choice, but this commercial had to go through a lot of people before actually being filmed and released into the world. Are you telling me that nobody was like, hey, that's an Elastic Man move right there? Number 8, Beyonce Heat. As previously mentioned, the world of perfume is filled with some pretty strange celebrity collaborations. For this entry, we're going to be talking specifically about Beyonce's first fragrance, Heat. Released in 2010, Heat was Beyonce's first attempt at breaking into the world of smells, even starring in her own commercial for the product. The commercial asked the question, just how hot is Beyonce? It turns out she's boiling! One part of the ad sees Beyonce slowly dragging her hand across a wall that melts and is set on fire. Now, I don't know about anyone else watching this video right now, but I hate being warm. Being too hot is the worst sensation that we have to deal with on a regular basis. We get sticky and wet, so the last thing that I want to think about while applying perfume is Beyonce setting things on fire with her hotness. Huh? I mean, I don't apply perfume. Huh? What? Huh? Moving on. Number 7, Kendall Jenner, the Pepsi commercial. Sponsored brand deals can mean a lot of money for the people involved. Just look at every cologne on the planet. They get someone to stand there for 30 seconds and they make $1 million. Around 2017, Kendall Jenner decided to partner with the soda brand Pepsi to create a commercial that would act as both an ad and a PSA against hate. The commercial consisted of hundreds of people from different parts of the world drinking Pepsi and eventually everyone coming together on the streets, what appears to be New York. Kendall looks to the crowd, wipes her makeup off, and follows in. But the cringiest moment comes when the crowd of people appear to be at a standoff with the police. Kendall walks through the crowd and hands an officer a can of Pepsi. He sips it and the crowd cheers, before they swarm the cops who are just suddenly cool with everything that's going on. The ad was meant to be a political statement following the passing of several African American men and women in the United States, aiming to bring people together, which it did, but for the wrong reasons. The world collectively cringed at this absolute mess, forcing Kendall to drop a tear-filled apology video on that season's premiere of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She may have apologized, but we're never gonna forget that weird commercial. Number 6, Lebron James and Samsung. If you genuinely love a product and you use it regularly, why not partner with the company and make a little extra cash? LeBron did just that in 2012 after starring in a commercial for Samsung, advertising the Galaxy Note 2. While there isn't really much wrong with the commercial other than being just a little bit longer than it should be, it was the aftermath that landed LeBron on this list. 2 years after releasing the commercial and continuing to rep the brand, his Galaxy Note rebooted one day suddenly and deleted every single thing on his device device. Unlike most Apple products, Samsung actually charges its users to keep information stored in a cloud, an option that, James did not go for. James tweeted out that his phablet rebooted and deleted everything he had, giving him the sickest feeling he's ever had in his life. He later deleted that tweet, but not before being retweeted over 1,000 times. Of course, this hurt the sales of the product, and his commercial was eventually pulled off the air. Something tells me that Lebron has made the switch to Apple since then. Number 5. Snoop Dogg, pocket like it's hot. Sometimes we want to have a nice big slice of pizza, but you don't have the time or money to afford one. Well, these little frozen treats are cheap and easy to make and chock full of delicious ingredients. So of course, one of its most avid consumers would be rapper Snoop Dogg, and he decided to try his hand at the marketing business, partnering with the company in 2013 to create a music video commercial. That's when the world was gifted with Pocket Like It's Hot, a parody of Snoop's famous Drop It Like It's Hot. The music video itself is actually surprisingly entertaining. Snoop and DeStorm rap alongside a little Hot Pocket, and they dance in a microwave. However, the actual food Hot Pockets can be a little bit hit or miss. Following the success of the commercial, Hot Pockets started flying off the shelves, but they were apparently quickly moved into the trash cans. People trying them for the first time were expecting this explosion of taste, but they were more than likely met with burning mouths and cold pepperoni somehow. Honestly, this isn't the worst brand deal on the planet or on this list, I just thought it was a fun one to share. Look at that little Hot Pocket go. Number 4. Ashton Kutcher and Popchips. Popchips are a yummy snack food that combines the best elements of popcorn and chip, creating a unique and delicious flavor. The brand's been around for quite some time, but thanks to a particularly racy commercial from former Punk'd host Ashton Kutcher, things didn't go too well for him. The commercial featured Ashton in several outlandish costumes playing various men on a dating app looking for love. The first character that we are introduced to is Raj, a Bollywood producer. Yeah, within the first few seconds of this commercial, we are just blasted with Ashton in brownface, sporting a very stereotypical accent. Now, I don't know who at Popchips thought that this was a good idea for a commercial. Doesn't even have anything to do with the brand. Like, it would maybe make sense if one of the dudes being interviewed was a bag of Popchips. That would have at least been a little bit more entertaining. Instead, this commercial was so racist that it was pulled from TV after only 1 week on the air. Thankfully, Popchips were so delicious that they weathered the media storm and returned with a new commercial last year. Now I'm hungry. Number 3. Ozzy Osbourne Can't Believe It's Not Butter. I Can't Believe It's Not Butter is one of the longest names for a butter substitute on the planet, but it's actually one of the most accurate ones too. Now, I've left this one towards the end because it's an older entry on this list, but it's also pretty entertaining. This commercial was so bad, it was hilarious. Ozzy teamed up with the Butter Boys and starred in a commercial alongside himself. He's baking with himself when he asks his clone to grab some butter from the fridge. The skit ends with them realizing they'd been making fairy cakes the whole time. Fairy cakes? Ew. He said, "I'm the Prince of Darkness, I'm eating rock cakes." Okay, well what he actually said was, "I'm the Prince of Darkness, I'm eating rock cakes." But the closed captioning might not be able to get that one. It's not the worst deal of all time, but like, come on, you couldn't think of anybody else to do that commercial? They were really trying to capitalize on that rock fan base. Joke's on them, I can only imagine how much butter must have been thrown at Ozzy ever since. Oh well, at least it'll go well with his bat heads. And number 2, Kesha and her Katchers. She woke up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy, and apparently in the mood to throw some things at people. Pop singing sensation Kesha was performing at a concert in 2011 when she decided to throw some product placement at her crowd. Now, there is a company in the world called Lifestyle, a name that many may be familiar with, especially if you've taken a certain educational course in school. You know, the one about the birds and the bees and the cartoon nether bits. Kesha teamed up with the company to develop and print Kesha Katchers, a special edition tube with Kesha's face right on the front. Fans attending these concerts were promised to be covered in sweat, booze, and a little extra something if they were lucky. But the only thing these fans left with were plastic paper cuts on their hands from trying to catch those things. Like, geez, you're flaming them like ninja stars. And at number 1, Nicki Minaj and Minajesty. Despite having a clever name, this celebrity endorsed perfume has one of the weirdest bottle designs I've ever seen. The design is based around one of Nicki's iconic looks from her stage time, sporting a pink hairstyle and bright bustier. Plus, the bottle has this like weird golden face that's just a little bit too detailed, like it's just enough to be creepy, but it's not enough to be Nicki's face. It's not just the bottle though, it was the way that she tried to sell it. The ad for this perfume sees Nicki chasing a majestic horse through a forest as her extravagant dress is slowly ripped apart by the trees, and it ends with her approaching a castle in the woods where there sits a massive bottle of the product overhead, and the men guarding the gate smell the fragrance on Nicki and open the doors. Again, weird commercial, but what does it smell like? And those are the top 10 worst celebrity brand deals of all time. There are plenty to choose from, so drop a like and share this video, and maybe we'll do a part 2 very soon. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I hope you had a great time. Thanks for stopping beyond the screen, and we'll see you next time.